Hello, this is Ben, Ian, and Jim with DC Digital, and today we're demonstrating a new project that a customer has requested that we manufacture for them. It is a sub-process production timer, and each timer can be set to a specific value to count down from. And when it gets to 0, that value, this process flashes, and then there's some indication on the Andon light, and I think also at 20%, right, Ben?
Yep.
And there's a total elapsed time down here at the bottom, which is a elapsed accumulation of all three of the processes. You have to go process 1, process 2, process 3, and that sequence always. To set the times, Ben has a wireless controller that he's going to explain how to set each timer. And that is something that's going to be done by either the management or something like that. And then on the floor, we have a remote, a wired remote that allows the workers to press, when they're done with process 1, they're going to press next, process 2, next, therefore, so forth and so on. And then they'll be able to pause it if they need to go, say, lunch break or something. And then when they get down to process 3, and they can hit the stop or the pause and then reset them all back to the value that they were set at. Now those are all in non-volatile memory, so power down, power back up, you still have that process times all into each timer that's been programmed in each timer. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and have Ben explain how to set them. Right now we have them all on 0. He's going to set them. You can set minutes or seconds, minutes and seconds, and going to go ahead and have Ben explain that. Ben?
All right, thanks, Jim.
You're welcome.
So regarding the Andon light is actually 3 colors. That's this yellow light in the corner here. It's 3 colors. It's yellow now. It can also be red or green. And when it's solid yellow, it indicates business as usual. So it's going to be yellow most of the time. As one of the processes goes into overtime, it'll go red. And as all 3 processes complete, it'll go green. Red is to signal that there's a problem with the line, there's a problem with the process, and the entire factory floor can see that from a distance and know to come help the line get back to where it needs to be in production. And green, of course, signals all of the forklift operators that the process is complete and to come pick up the finished product and start the process again. So that's what the Andon light does, or the LED light in the upper right hand corner. If you try to start the process without having set up the processes, it will give you an indication, a little red blinking light. For half a second it'll blink red, and that's just to indicate, hey, we need to set up the process first. We do so by hitting set 1, and you'll see the colons blink there for process 1. And then you can set minutes, and you press set minutes to start it incrementing by itself. You press set minutes again to stop it. If you've gone too far and you want to back it down, you hit -1 minute to back it down to where you need to. Or you can hit reset all to zero it out. It will only zero out the one that you're setting. The remote control will only work for the process you're setting. So we're currently setting process 1. We'll go ahead and set seconds in the same way. We'll set it to 10 seconds. When the process gets to 20% of its time, the yellow light will flash, and so 20% of 10 is 2, so when it gets to 2 seconds on process 1, the yellow light will flash. We'll go ahead and commit that by hitting set 1. We'll set 2 the same way. And if you go too far, there's a minus 1 minutes button as well. And then we'll commit that to 2. And then process 3, we'll go ahead and set that. Okay, so now that we have all 3 of them set up, now we can go ahead and start 1. and it'll count down from the set value as the elapsed time increments. And as it reaches 2 seconds left, the Andon light will start to blink. As it gets to 0, the Andon light will go red, indicating there's a problem. The process continues to count and measure the time over, as well as elapsed time continues to elapse. You can pause it in overtime and resume it from overtime using both the remote control and the buttons on the wall.
So these buttons here, we want to go ahead and hit resume. Can I go ahead and hit resume?
You can pause it and resume. Yeah.
Okay.
So pause, and then it'll resume. And it does pause and resume down to the millisecond accuracy in that regard. However, the process timer overall has a 1 second accuracy because of the resolution of the display. Okay, when we've completed process 1, we hit start next. And that can be done either on the remote control or on the wall.
I want to do pause and resume there. Okay, and then I'll hit next on, is it okay if I?
Yeah.
So I've hit the next process button that was just at the top of the remote here.
And as it gets to 2 seconds, it'll flash yellow. And as it gets to 0, it'll go to red.
So I want to go ahead and just
start next.
Start next. And then I can reset them all back if I want to. Sure.
So here at Start Next, we've completed all 3 processes. We were 1 minute and 27 seconds to complete all 3. And that is the time we counted down plus the time we counted up.
Right.
Reflected in that.
So I'll reset it back to, so they can do the recording now. With this unit, we can add a network card if you wanted to. It is expandable up to 10 processes if you wanted to. We have a lot of, we can do a lot of different things with this. We can put, larger set buttons on this. We can do, it's very flexible on what we can do. Sensor if you want. A different kind of activation where you can go to different processes and they don't have to go over and hit a button or whatnot. So just going to go ahead and reset them all back to the original time, and then go ahead, Ben.
Once the processes are set up, as I demonstrated, we're using the set buttons. The remote control can be safely placed in a locked container or wherever it needs to go as far as the process goes, and the process can be completely controlled through the 3-button remote control on the wall. You want to step it through again?
Sure. So I'm going to go ahead and start next sequence. And then they're going to do their process. I'm going to hit, okay, well, they're done with that. I want to push for the next sequence. I'm going to work and do that. And push the next sequence. Oh, it's time to eat lunch. I'm going to hit pause. Or something else happens, resume. Okay. And then hit next sequence. That stops everything. Green light. 20 seconds took the whole time. I'm going to reset it back, and that's all controlled here. So the customer wants to know the total number of minutes that all 3 processes has taken. So this will be accumulation into minutes. And as you can see, we have the first process, which is going to take 40 minutes. The second process is going to take 50 minutes. And the third process is going to take 20 minutes. Of course, that will add up to 110 minutes. So you have 90 plus 20 is going to be 110 minutes. What will happen is the first 99 minutes will be displayed here. So it'll be 99.59, and then it will shift over to just 99 minutes and then accumulate up to 9999. So 9,999 minutes, if that is applicable. So I'm going to go ahead and start the timer, start the processes. We're going to start the production, and we're going to get started with that, and then cut away from the video and then come back and show you each process as they get started, and then what the value of the elapsed time is. So this video is just primarily to show that this elapsed time is minutes, 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 minutes. So they want to know the total minutes of all three processes. Now we can do up to 9,999 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Then I'll stop the video or pause it and bring you back into process 2. Okay, so we've gone 39 minutes here on the first process, and we went ahead and pressed. You can do it either from this wireless remote, obviously, or from this wired remote, or from this wireless remote. And they've pressed the next sequence or next process, okay? And that was 50 minutes. And we went 49 minutes on that one. So 39 here, 49 here. And we didn't quite make it to 0, which is good, because that means you've beat the downtime that was required for you to finish that process. So if the process was to go to 0 and continue on, then this display would be flashing and then counting back up. So this one was 39. This one has been done in 49 minutes. And now I'm going to go ahead and resume process 3. And that is counting down from 20 minutes. And as you can see, the seconds are still incrementing up on the elapsed time. And we have 88 minutes. So it is still showing minutes and seconds in the elapsed time. And then once we get above 99 minutes, 59 seconds, this display will shift over showing you all minutes. But we must pass through 100 minutes, which will happen in approximately 9 minutes. So I hope you understand what I mean. The Andon light is still yellow. If it was red, it would turn red if this process was still in process and counting back up and flashing. In other words, the process went past the 50 minutes that was allotted for it. But we're going to go on to process number 3. It's the last process for this manufacturing facility, and we're going to let it go up past 100 minutes. Okay, so we have crossed over the 59 second threshold, and right now I've got it paused, so let's go ahead and restart it. And also on this specific unit, when the value of the timer falls below 20%, the Andon light will flash yellow and to get your process done. But as you can see, we have 104 minutes total elapsed. The seconds are no longer there, and we're starting to just count minutes only. And also, one other thing I wanted to mention was, once it gets past 0, it starts counting back up. The display will flash, and I'll show you that here in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video. Okay, so as you can see, process 3 has passed through 10 minutes. And now we have a red Andon light, and the process is showing overage, and it's starting to count back up. And once we increment above 1 minute here, it will also continue to accumulate the elapsed time. So it will need to be reset before you can stop the flashing of process 3 and reset everything all back to the original values by either pressing reset all or reset all here on the remote. And then of course it has to be paused first before that happens. But yeah, I just want to demonstrate it that, you know, once you go past your allotted countdown time, or what management has prescribed for the process, it starts to count back up, and also the display flashes, and also, well, it does not, the Andon does not flash anymore, it just turns a solid red. So indicating that overage has occurred, and then the accumulation time is still being All aluminum enclosure. We can put this in a 4-inch or 6-inch displays. Somebody suggested maybe we can have hundreds, tenths, hundreds seconds if you want to get it really accurate. So a lot of different things we can do with it, a lot of different directions we can go customizing it. So again, this has been Ian and Jim with DC Digital. Thanks for watching.